Yo, what's up, homies? It's your boy LowTide bringing ready video. Today we're back with some more of the letter. Now, if you guys remember, last time on the letter, we had the whole thing with Zachary and the wife teasing him, and they became good friends. Hence the giant ass relationship bump over here. Same thing goes with Marianne. Luke liked us more than this, but we said we were hanging out with Zach. And him being him didn't like it and whatnot. Anyways, in the background of that, there was this womanly cry that our character never questioned for whatever goddamn reason till now. So now we're questioning, why the fuck are there cries coming from the thing? And she still hasn't caught on to the fact that they sound more like a woman than the other two people in this house who are both male. Even if one of them is gay, no. Anyways, let's do this. Who is that? And then we head into the kitchen, and this is where it left out. October 26th. This is, yeah, literally the whole incident we just had. In the book, it noticed it. What? Then there's this crime. Curiosity sinks in as I follow the starful sound into the kitchen. This is where you go and you get your husband. I don't care how drunk, how tired he is. This shit wakes everybody. Like, well, then again, it's a perception, so only you notice it. That shit's, yeah. All right, then grab that knife or a pan on the wall. Now, you can go ahead and start having a pan. Put some grits in that shit. Get it ready. Doing this Medea style. Black woman style. I'm black, so it's not offensive. It's not that offensive. Trust me. Put it on the pan. You just gotta know the time limit. Then come back and just pop, hit somebody with a pan. And into the wine cellar hatch.
Hello? Is anybody down there?
I'm curious and concerned, but there's no way I'm going down there in a dark, human underground. I'm not as enthusiastic as Luke, who considers himself quite the connoisseur. However, I also cannot bring myself to go to bed with this racket going on. If it is one of the household help, they will surely need some talking. After all, this wouldn't be the first time I've gone and found one of my maids sobbing their eyes out. Okay. Over one thing or another. So it could be someone else. It's not someone else in the house. I know it isn't. But, okay, she acknowledged it. I didn't know we had other people in the house. They haven't showed other people. Even shown them. So, yeah. As professional as our staff are, they are still human. More often than not, it was either Johannes or I who'd calm them down, or who'd help them figure out how to go about things. Unfortunately, I am not in high spirits right now, so I'm not wholly benevolent. Save, call them out. Waiting for any sort of replies. The reply yields me no results, and I've already touched the floor hatch far too many times than I'd like. I take a deep breath before reaching out again to whoever's inside. I've learned from experience that people respond better to kindness than threats. Shouting angrily would not help in coaxing.
You in the cellar? Do come out. We don't want Luke waking up and finding you in there, do we? That man would go ballistic thinking someone was trying to steal his precious wine.
Still nothing.
You can have a good cry. Just not in there, yes? Why don't you come out here and we can have a cuppa and you can tell me all about whatever it is you're bawling about.
With how long I'm standing here, however, I'm starting to think of myself as a fool. I did not want to acknowledge the other feelings I have, especially as the wailing took an eerie turn. The thought of being played with didn't sit well with me, and I had to stop myself from getting too hot-headed as I try one more time.
No, you come out of there! That is an order from the lady of the house, do you hear me? Why, I ought to...
I freeze as a hand clamps down on my shoulder. Oh shit. Oh shit. Please, please. Wait, we're yelling. Someone else in the household. Or it's gonna be, I doubt it's Luke. If Luke would have just bust into the room fucking yelling. This might be, if we're lucky, it's not the thing underneath here who's supposed to be wailing. It's, what the fuck? Our butler. Boy. Johannes. The dread I've been feeling all this time, it makes itself known as I kneel, unmoving, not even daring to breathe. I can feel my heart pounding against my chest, but the touch is gone as quickly as it sees me. Yes! It is only Your Highness I see when I look back.
Apologies, madam, for touching you like that. You were not responding to my voice, and you looked about ready to wake the whole mansion up.
I'm sorry. I was getting rather loud, wasn't I? But that crying woman in there, we must do something about her.
He goes silent for a moment and just looks concerned. At least I like to interpret it as concern, given how stoic our butler usually is. Or rather, it must have been concern, as he takes off a glove and presses the back of his head and my forehead before his worrisome glow. Alright, for y'all who I know some people are all mad. You don't have to bow. Oh my god, you didn't go down there. Oh my god, I wanted to see the bag. Alright, fuck it. Alright, y'all happy? We'll load this shit for a second. Open the hatch. And then die. Alright, y'all happy? What went up? What went up? As those actions look down in the cellar, a sense of uneasiness washes over me. It's just in the sudden onset of vertigo and nausea, but also the darkness. It's suffocating. Sorry, I turned up my headphones trying to see if I can make out what the fuck she's saying. As I look down, it feels as if it's looking back at me. I gaze into the abyss, and then gazes back. I worry that something will suddenly pull me into the deep, and that is literally what's going to happen. I can hear her whispering, "Help me." There it is, calling for me. She wants me, needs me. She wants to drown me, pull me down, and suffocate me in her embrace until I sink into the bottom. A deep abyss awaits, inviting yet foreboding. She calls to me from in there, isn't she? And I do want to help, I do. But the shadow is starting to creep out, and the filtration keeps me into place. Already it paints the room into a darker light. There's a lurching sensation that follows feeling that follows after is hard to explain. Feels like I'm watching from silence, a spectator to my actions or lack thereof. I will myself to snap out of this detached feeling, to move and do anything except stare at myself. And for a moment, I see the look of fear in my own face. I'm back in my body, but the hook in my stomach is no longer one. There are hooks everywhere, tearing and pulling at my skin, flesh and bones. They pull me in every direction, and it hurts. It hurts so much that I can't bring myself to scream out.
Help me.
Oh god. Don't hit me with this. Oh, Jesus. I had to look down and keep up. I'm like, oh shit. I was hoping it was gonna be like one hand, like around the WASD shit. So like when you're typing, you know, your left hand. But nah, they were like, oh shit. So I had to like literally, it's like a typing game. Like one of those when you were in fucking middle school. And they're like, yo, let's teach you how to type. And you just gotta put your hand there and just ready. Oh shit, that button. I wake from a deep slumber. It takes a while with the fog that has settled in my head with my heavy limbs. But soon enough I managed to look around. I'm in our bedroom already, although I do not recall going here. Luke slumbers beside me looking peaceful and angelic. It doesn't matter. I'm safe and I feel better than ever. Tomorrow, better days will come. So, we can have her interact or not interact. What do y'all want? Do y'all want her to see? Well, she didn't even see the thing, really. She just got attacked. I'm still going to go with the other one that I did. I did that just for the people who wanted to fucking see it, because I know some people, oh my god, you put... Alright, or rather, let's because I already said that.
Beg your pardon. What? Crying woman?
Don't worry about it. I lost my mind a little bit.
Are you feeling well, madam?
I swear I'm alright. I might have drank a little bit much. No.
In the cellar? Can't you hear her?
Madam Hannah, no one is down there.
What?
The cellar is locked. Only Luke and I have duplicates of the keys.
How the fuck did I open it earlier? Shit, that wasn't right. Huh?
Nobody is down there.
I stare at him in disbelief. But when I listen once more, I hear no crying. Tugging at the hatch for good measure proves his words to be true. The thing won't budge unless I had a key, short of using power tools on it.
Perhaps it is time for you to go to bed, madam.
You're right.
You are simply tired and hearing things, a perfectly normal human experience.
That actually is true. In all honesty, like certain people. Now, if you stay up too late, that shit happens. Like, I don't mean like one day. I mean, they say the average like human body can go like 7 days without fucking sleep, right? I must tell a story real quick. So I've gone personally 5 days without. It was 5 days without sleep, and like the fourth, it was the beginning of the fifth. But in that time, I started hallucinate, hearing voices and shit, and that's when I said it's time to sleep. Especially when you start seeing games in real life. Nah, it's just all right. I'm going to bed. It's just I gotta sleep. You were simply tired. Alright, let's continue.
But if you are still experiencing auditory hallucinations in the morning, you are free to consult with me.
Yes, thank you. There's a cold feeling in the pit of my stomach as he helps me up to my feet. What he says makes sense, and who am I to question someone who used to be a doctor? Oh, he used to be a doctor. Okay, good. I'm just tired. That's it. A long day moving, the interview, dealing with Luke. That has all drained me of proper sense.
Yes, I suppose you're right.
That is literally what would happen to me. I'd be so out of it with energy, I would be like fucking fading.
I just need some sleep, that's all.
And I say, people are like,
of
oh,
course I'm right.
That's an exaggeration. No. I'm literally like fading. Like I'd be like, oh, it's fucking time. Barely keep my eyes fucking open.
Go on then. Gute Nacht.
Good night, dear
Thank
Holmes.
you.
Good night,
German.
house.
Danke. Good night, house. Okay. It's just fatigue. That's what I keep telling myself, although I can't ignore the strange feeling in my gut. Either there is something wrong with this house, or there is something wrong with my head. ... Sleep will be elusive tonight. Luke is already gone by the time I rise. There isn't a single hide nor hair. Okay. So, there's a difference in the way they wake up already. You see that? I like that. Small things. Now I'm not gonna lie. I'm tempted to go back. I came from playing another game that was choices now, so now I'm like, oh shit, I can go back and change that choice. I did like the mechanic. Johannes is worried for us in here, which is probably gonna get him killed. But the other one, we don't even know how we ended up in our room, so it probably was him too. No, fuck it. I'll be back. We're gonna keep this one after I got attacked because I like the mechanic, and I still think Johannes knows somehow, but it'll be interesting to see if he doesn't or not. And we'll just roll with this one from there on out. All right, we're not doing any more crazy things like that unless we die, of course. It takes a while with the fog that has settled in my head and with my heavy limbs, but soon enough I managed to look around. In our bedroom, although I do not recall going here. Luke slumbers beside me, looking peaceful and angelic. It doesn't matter. I'm safe and I feel better than ever. Tomorrow better days will come. Luke is already gone by the time I rise. Okay, so just say there isn't a single hide nor hair of him to be found, and trying to call him on his mobile phone is a bust, as it all only goes straight to his voicemail. That's twice in a row he's gone on me, and for him to disappear today of all days is every bit upsetting because of what's to come. The morning is once again filled with a whirlwind of activity. Fortunately, I am much more refreshed I took a break from my responsibilities. I haven't the faintest clue where Luke was yesterday. Today is going to be a busy day, although unlike Wednesday, the master of the house isn't here right now, absent once again from his duties. Hopefully he'll be back in time for the party. This is our house, after all, a grand housewarming party for the wonderful Wrights Mansion. Every person of importance from Luxbourne is invited. And from there will be a few guests flying in as well. Of course, there will be some people from the media, along with friends and acquaintances who are made no less important regardless of their status in society. Marianne and I discussed business and last-minute touches to the house before finalizing everything. Not that there's much change from our original plans. Bar any huge additions to the property itself, the mansion is nearly 100% complete.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
Well, I can't take all of the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the right mansion. There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom?
Luke and I had a small tiff about making the second bedroom into a child's playroom, which I insisted is completely practical. In the end, he had a question. I didn't give him any choice in the matter. Acquested? No, I know what the fuck the word meant. It's where my mind couldn't say the fucking word. It's where you don't vote. You're just like, I'm out. This is whatever the fuck. I even bought this wonderful wooden crib from the antique store yesterday, including some toys, just in case anyone brings their baby, of course. Besides, we have little need for actual guest rooms. We hardly have guests who spend the night. If we absolutely have to, often choose to foot the bill for their visit on one of our hotels instead. All blah blah blah. Always at Luke's own insistence. All right. And on the off chance that we actually let someone stay in the bedroom and the opposite wing is still up to task.
No. We proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
No, I did not agree to have him having a helipad.
All right, then.
He doesn't need a fucking helipad.
Well, do we have any other concerns? Anything we need to put on our agenda before the party commences?
Don't mention the helipad.
No, I don't think so. Not unless Luke has anything else to say.
Is he around then? It'd be best if we can note down his requests right away, considering the scope of his usual ones.
No, he isn't here. And yeah, you are wrong. His scope is for fucking things is crazy. Around? No. Where is he? Who knows where? I don't.
No, he's not around.
She didn't have to point out the obvious, did she? Now, did she? After 7 long years, I'd already gotten used to him. I should be by now. Still not, apparently.
But don't you have a party?
I want nothing more than to complain, to whinge about how unfair this is. However, airing out one's dirty laundry is simply taboo among high society. To do so will make you a ripe target for the next dinner party chit-chat. Vultures, a lot of them really. Or most of them at least. There are always good ones like Rochelle Lee. But to put your trust in the wrong person, you'll find yourself eagerly picked apart.
Yes. But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see. That friend he's visiting, he's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
Perhaps I'm being a bit too rash, a bit too hot-headed in divulging details. But I thought myself clever with the plan to dress it up as gossip. Marianne's raised brow make me unsure whether she is interested or not. Although that does make things better if she has no interest and therefore has no hidden intent to utilize whatever I might say to her.
They've been married for a long time and they've hit how do they say it?
A rough patch.
A rough patch.
Hit a wall.
His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband.
Why does it sound like the opposite of this relationship? One of them has a drinking problem. Neglects their wife. He's like an all businessman, so he neglects everything else other than business.
But it's never enough for her. Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark. What do you think?
What do I think of the matter, ma'am?
Yeah.
No, what do you think of my hair? It feels so lifeless and dull today, and that's no good for a party. And I think I'm breaking out into zits.
Now that you mention it, there is something different.
But that was a lie.
There better not be something on my face.
I wouldn't worry about that. You do look a little paler than usual, ma'am. I apologise if I'm crossing any lines here, but have you been resting properly?
You'd think I get a bit tanned with how sunny it's been lately. Don't you worry. I feel right as rain and never better.
Right as rain and never better.
But back to the matter at hand.
You were asking for my personal opinion on the matter, ma'am? Do you want me to be honest, or...?
I am one to ask for honesty.
Be honest with me, Marianne. I don't need
Real
someone to
talk.
sugarcoat it.
Move the achievement. Steam. I want to see if that upped over. Yeah, I did. So I wanted to see if she wanted to be real. But yeah, no. I'd rather you be honest. You can hurt me.
I'm not some fragile thing that I'm just going to break down
Just
at the
say it.
slightest thing.
She hesitates, taking a sip of her coffee while I stare into my own cup of tea. The silence stretches on, and I almost believe that she will never answer my question. I suppose that I shouldn't blame her putting her on a tight spot like this. Her hesitation is understandable, though I loathe to admit it. She simply wants this whole thing to stay professional. But then she speaks.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask. This is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
It's my turn to hesitate now. I really didn't expect such a straightforward question, and to get to the heart of the matter, I suppose I'm not as clever as I'd like to think. Or is it really that bad that an outsider can see our marital troubles? Surely we aren't that obvious, are we? We put up the act of a perfect couple for years, although it hadn't always been an act. Marianne is just more keen than the average person. Of course! No, it's pretty obvious. It is necessary to her career. She's been working so closely with us. Yes, that's it.
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
Did I tell you? She didn't English. Can we like back it up? No? Okay, I'll read it for her. I got you. Then I'd tell you it's none of my business. I'd tell you that I don't want to meddle.
What? If the troubled husband with the neglectful wife asked me for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else. Someone who won't even give him the time of the day. Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself. Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone.
Pretty much.
That's just my 2 pence worth, of course.
So you're saying they should divorce?
They, yeah.
Nothing as drastic as that. If they're afraid that it might lead to just that, then maybe that is what's meant to happen in the first place.
I can understand that. That's a good response to that. You know, if you can't deal with it, like someone being like, yo, give me like a little bit of space, and they're like, oh, divorce. That's not what I meant. I just need space, you know, because I need to live. I need like breathing room. I'm an introvert. I don't do that. I don't do that shit out there.
We shouldn't let our fear control our lives.
You're right.
But it's just a short hiatus is all. Or, you know, couples therapy?
Yeah, it's possible.
Look, I'm really not the best person to ask about relationships. So grain of salt and all that.
She trails off, having said her piece, and leaves nothing but the smell of coffee and Earl Grey between. Earl Grey! Oh my god! Earl Grey between. I actually want some Earl Grey tea right now. There's a calm despite the nature of what? What? There is a calm, despite the nature of what is just what has just been discussed. Okay, to say that her words make me start to think is an understatement. To say that I'm not considering her advice is a lie, and to say that this might just be the calm before the storm is a possibility. Others have had shorter marriages, yes, but plenty have celebrated long and happy ones as well. My parents celebrated their coral anniversary before they passed away. But 7 years. 7 years isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. No, it is not. People have broken up for less, and, you know. I mean, it's one of those things. It's hard also to just keep marriage going. Like, you guys put up with each other for years on years on years. Like, you know, every year matters. Even in the grand scheme of life, where it doesn't seem like a giant thing. It isn't a whole lot of time to see what and where our relationship can bring us. And at the same time, 7 years, well, it hasn't been entirely made of unhappy years, has it? It won't last forever. It's not supposed to, anyway. I just dread the thought that it might last for a very long time. I dread the thought that these small spats, these little disagreements, will turn into an all-out resentment. The idea that we will grow to hate each other with every fiber of our being scares me. I can't even pinpoint the exact moment when our blissful union turned sour. We can get through this, right? I know that I still do love him, and I feel that there's still a part of me that loves him in return. Loves me in return. Yeah. We just need to get our heads together and talk it out. Surely he will see some sense. There's a cough before Marianne clears a third. I must have been quiet for so long, and I move to apologize when she stands up. We both end up on our feet, unsure of how to proceed. Some sort of odd, awkward shuffle occurs as we decide whether to sit back down or not.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
You won't be attending the party? Oh, you really must, Marianne.
I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies.
I'd probably be like, my kind of crowd, my bad.
Busy, busy, busy.
If she invites Zach, you know this is gonna go down very fast, downhill. Like, if Zach shows up at this fucking party and for any reason at all, and Luke sees her with, oh shit, there might be a divorce.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you. You need to say hello to the Lees, at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
We'll see. So, if I can be excused?
Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive. Because, believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
The fuck? Why are you here? Why are you here an hour early? Cuz I'm an early bird. And then they're just like, why the fuck isn't the party ready? Because you're here early. What do you mean, why is it ready? Don't be here an hour early. Motherfucker, not my problem. See this shit. The scene outside the parlor is great, organized mess. Aside from our own houseful of help, we hired the service of the temp agency, which provides staff for the right enterprise in the hospitality sector. Even our very skillful staff cannot undertake a party of this size on their own. Waiters, busboys, hostesses, and their staff captains move about in droves, carrying crockery and serveware good for several dozen people and then some. Chiefs and bartenders tail after Johannes, looking like scared little children as he escorts them through the kitchen and into the wine cellar to pursue the stocks to select what can be served at the party and what can be used for cooking.
No! We have a lot to do, and I believe we did not hire snails. Snails are for the dishes.
Snail means, fat? Like, is it fast or slow? I don't fucking remember. He says he's talking about snails, so I'm thinking he says slow. I don't fucking remember. It's German. A string quartet readies up to play for the evening, tuning their instruments as they fill the air with idle chatter. Floral decor where thousands fill vases, wreaths and baskets while petals are scattered along the driveway up front. A nice sculpture of a reindeer is brought in carefully by a pair. Looks nice. It is followed by a simple cake. Simple! You call that simple? That bitch ain't nothing is simple about that cake. Nothing. No, there's not the icing maybe, but bitch it ain't put on there simple. Just a 5-tier white chiffon, one with one white chocolate mousse, fresh berries, and a light dusting of edible gold leaf. Simple! But despite the fact that I told Marianne how I will attend all of this, I find myself unable to focus or care for any of it. I still have our discussion running in my mind, and looking at all this, I only see Luke everywhere. These are all grand things like that Luke wanted to have for the party. I had wanted a small, elegant, and simple gathering with only a select few invited, namely the people who I actually trust to enter my home. I did not want any bloody politicians or paparazzi in here, no matter how used to them I am to catering them.
At least be here for your party. Damn it, Luke.
The entire thing screamed Luke right. And I can't help but add another question to my growing list of queries. When did I lose myself? It's always about him nowadays, isn't it? What about Hannah Wright? What about Hannah Evans? I used to be my own woman who made her own name, her own career, and her own decisions. Sure, I was already the social butterfly that I am still today, but I wasn't all empty, shallow gossip and sitting pretty. I was also lauded for my knowledge and talent. Finance manager wasn't just handed to me just because my father owned the company. Well, financial, you know what I mean. I had insisted that I start at the bottom so I could work my way to the top and prove myself, and I did. I worked numbers, managed budgets, money, and accounts, analyzing the competition and market trends. There was a calculation of financial risk, cost reduction opportunities, auditor license, and public relations supervision of staff, and, well, I generally had a huge slew of responsibilities. Admittedly, I was already quite the attention seeker even back then, having dedicated most of my youth craving for my parents' approval. Failing that, I turned to others, looking for praise from anyone who would give it, however fleeting that it was. And Luke, oh Luke, the way he looked at me, the way he watched me and took a genuine interest. He had me disgustingly obsessed since day one, hadn't he? He saw me for me, Hannah Evans, with both my faults and my achievements. The man didn't treat me like some damsel in distress or some prize to be won. I remember the nights before we were married where we talked about everything and anything. From big things like business, society, and philosophy to little things such as what we had for breakfast or whether we liked cats or dogs more. We both preferred dogs. Nowadays, I'm just Luke Wright's wife. ... It's mostly my fault, isn't it? They told me that husbands preferred wives who are docile and subordinate. A woman who'll always be there for him, yet would never outshine him in all aspects except beauty. A wife needs to be at home and attend to his needs, to have children and take care of them in his absence. They said I have no business working anymore after I was married. I can blame society, but I listened. Before I can fall further into an introspective pit of self-loathing, someone calls for my
The guests
attention.
have arrived, madam.
Oh,
And Luke,
no. Yeah, you're
Running a bit late, I'm afraid.
late. Uh-huh.
late for his own party. That man, I swear. He's probably looking to make a dramatic entrance, knowing him. Open the doors then. We mustn't tarry.
I can't